What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sparring Sessions. I am Big Will with my co-host UFC Genie. Our buddy Dax is not here today, so I am taking the lead for today. Definitely outside of my comfort zone, but we're doing it. We're also joined by my buddy John. He's a good friend of mine. We live pretty close to each other, and we've been watching UFC for years. We're fans. We've been to a bunch of UFC events and stuff together, so. He definitely knows the game as much as any of us. So we got a pretty good card this weekend, UFC 319 with Dricus and Hamzat headlining. And I think we're going to have 15 fights by the end of this. 15 freaking fights for this. I can't remember the last time we had a card with 15 fights. That's pretty cool. I guess we got the two tough finalists, and then we got the guy that just won yesterday in Contender Series, Susarkayev, is already fighting this Saturday. That is insane. Ginny, who's he fighting again? Guy from CFFC, right?
Yeah, he's fighting
Nolan?
Eric Nolan.
Yeah, Eric Nolan. That's have you heard that, John? That guy he got a contract last night on Contender Series, and he's already fighting this Saturday.
I know the Russian you guys are speaking of, but not the Nolan guy now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. They were like not playing with him, like, yo,
He
you
trains
ready
with
to go?
Hamzat too. This is Hamzat 2.0 right here.
Yeah,
Dude,
that
that guy is nasty. Yeah, the guy's nasty. This is best bets, and we already did breakdowns. Genie did already did the breakdowns with Dax. We're gonna talk about some of our best bets. Go through that. It is 4 or 5 of your main bets that you give to an average gambler that wants to just throw down on some fights. In the minus 200 plus 200 range, whatever it is, and then we're gonna go with some value plays. And then hit up our parlays, and then our sparring sessions parlay to end the episode. And I am gonna let John go with his first couple of best bets because he's our guest. So, John, take it away.
all right. Thank you. Started off, thinking about a parlay. I would like to splash together Carlos Prates and Chase Hooper. I like
Okay.
Prates. It's definitely a biased call, but I think it's a great matchup for him. He's longer, slicker striker, more diverse of a toolbox. Seems to have the better cardio. The kicks will be perfect to keep Jeff at bay, and maybe even rip up his body. I feel like Carlos is the higher caliber striker, and I don't feel like that loss to Ian really hurt his stock or his progression. If anything, it's going to help him in the long run. And I feel like the fighting
Yeah.
nerds, great fight camp, and will help cook up a good game plan for him. I'm a little worried about the volume on Carlos's end, but I feel like it's going to a good matchup for him.
Yeah. I
And
like
then
that.
yeah, on the other end of that one, I really I like Chase. Uh, he's been looking better and better since getting KO'd by Steve Garcia about 5 fights ago. I think the length is good for him. He can strike. I don't think he's going to be able to like knock out Alex. I'm not totally sold on the striking, but I think he can hold his own. I definitely see the sub potential there if it goes down to the ground. And I think Chase is going to take it there. And I think that new size that he's
Yeah.
been putting on is going to aid that.
Yeah, man. He's only what, like 23, 24, 25. He's really growing into his body. And I don't want to keep referencing the Contender Series, but last night we saw Radley De Silva versus Mangas.
Mm-hmm.
21-year-old versus a
You called that one,
30-year-old
yeah.
man. That grown man strength really he got put into a couple hairy situations, but
Situation.
man, the grown man strength came out for sure. Yeah, man, I like that, man. I definitely agree with you on that call with Hooper and Prates. I'm a fan of that.
It's a good fight
What do you
two fighters are on a run, but I think it's a good spot for Chase.
sure. What do you got next after that?
After that one, we're gonna go. I got another little one. This one's plus 149. I got MVP and Loopy, and that's
Okay,
another. I'm gonna
nice.
have to parlay now because I was gonna take MVP, but I think you guys are only doing, what are the odds again? It's got to be like minus 240 or and below.
No, there's
On
there's 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 not many rules, man. Anything from like minus 200 range to plus 200 will be your best bets, and then your value plays just might be anything you're not too certain on, but it's worth a little sprinkle. So there's not many two rules here.
No,
too many rules here. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
go with what you want, my man.
All right,
Yeah,
well
it's no
then,
biggie.
yeah, I'm definitely going to splash Loopy and MVP up. Loopy on this end of it, I like her. She's been getting better and better as of late. Minus that one round, that last, pulley fight with the poop. I expect her to stand a
Yeah,
bit with Andrade, set up the takedowns and use her wrestling to grind away on the decision. I mean, there's possible a finish because of how Andrade's been fighting lately. It seems like more and more often she's getting finished, but I do think it goes late. I think Loopy needs to stay, fight smart, fight her fight, and avoid getting stuck striking. She needs to use what she's good at and what Jessica's lacking in, I think. And I think it's a great spot for her to do it. And since all this marital drama with Andrade, it seems like she's been like her performance has been falling off, and she's taking more and more fights. So I
she's
think it's a
got
good.
the she's got the highest selling OnlyFans in the UFC.
Jesus, wouldn't
No,
surprise him.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, it's got to be Eileen Perez, right?
Yeah, twerker.
Probably, yeah. It's probably her. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny.
and on the other side of
Yeah,
that one, then I got MVP. And I believe this is a great first when I first got announced. I thought this was a great matchup for him. I do think Jared's more powerful, but he's definitely slower than MVP. And I think this is like a great way for him to just like snake charm his way around the big cage, in and out with that point, that karate style. I do think you got to worry about a little bit of the power coming his way, but as long as he can, remain out of danger, the leg kicks and all, I can see him 15 minutes just skating around the ring or the octagon and doing his thing.
oh, 100%. I could see that all day long. That's for sure.
And then when you mix them up, it's plus 149. That's what I got him at. So that's a
Yeah, I
nice little
like that,
parlay.
man. Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Jeannie, what are your first few best bets you got over there?
So I want to start off just for shits. I want to start off with a low-ranked women's MMA fight, just for the fun of
Nice.
it. Carini Silva and Dione Barbosa, man. You get Carini Silva. I think she wins this one. She just got a kind of a step up in competition in her last one, and she didn't do too well against Vivian Araujo. I can't lie. Like she was the favorite going into that one, and her striking didn't look too good. And she got out grappled mostly, but I don't see that happening in Dione Barbosa. This is kind of a step down. This is like back
Yeah.
to the basics for her. And I think Carini Silva is going to be able to outstrike her, and she's going to take home a decision victory. So instead of Carini Silva at minus 200, get her by decision at plus 110.
Wow. She was a
Uh,
pretty big favorite against Araujo, right? Like minus
yeah,
400 or something crazy like that, right?
yeah, something like that. And she did not look like
Wow,
it at all.
that's
Mm-mm.
wild.
But yeah, I'll take her by decision for sure at plus money. I like that a lot. And for my second one, I'll go up to Edson Barboza and Drakkar Close, which on the money line is pretty closely contested. It seems like a lot of people's putting money on Drakkar Close for some reason. Um, I mean,
It's an
am I
interesting
crazy for
fight.
thinking Edson Barboza's?
Hey man, we
Sorry,
don't do we don't do Jakar close slander over here on sparring sessions. All right, man.
am I
That's my
am
guy.
I crazy for thinking Edson Barboza just destroys Drakkar Close?
That's my guy, man. I like Jakar close. I think me
Yeah.
personally. I think Jakar Close can make it a grinding fight. You would think he wrestles more than he actually does, but I think he mixes it up pretty well. I think his fight against Rafa Garcia might be something. I know Rafa Garcia isn't Edson Barboza, but I think it could go somewhere similar to that, where it's a relatively close fight. But I think it's been 5 years since Edson's fought at lightweight. I think Jakar can definitely make it tough. But I mean, I think coming off that really bad loss Jakar had his last fight, he got slept pretty bad in
Yeah.
Tampa. I was there for
Slept and
that.
then submitted.
Yeah,
Well,
it
I can't
was
even. Yeah, it was one of the
it was
two.
no, I thought he got slept out cold, like from
Yeah,
a knee.
Joel was
It
like
was
holding him
Slam?
in a guillotine while punching him.
Yeah, it was bad. I
Yeah.
actually I saw Jakar at the hotel after that, and he bought me some shots. So I will always be in I'll always be indebted to Mr. Jakar Close for that. That was pretty cool of him.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't hate it, man. That fight is I feel like you would be naive to think you feel like you know what's gonna happen in that fight because I really have no idea what the hell's gonna happen in that fight. I'll be honest with you, but um. One
I'm
thing
gonna
about
put
Edson.
Barbosa as a best bet though.
That's fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I remember last year I saw Edson at the fights. It was when Tuco had his short notice fight against Umar Sy. Edson right after weigh-ins was eating Panda Express. So I don't know if you remember me saying that, but he was eating Panda Express right after weigh-ins. I was like, you would think you would have a nutritionist.
Yeah,
That was a bit strange to me. So that's I don't know. Maybe he got tired. Maybe that's all he's eating these days is Panda Express. So yeah.
You want
definitely
a
an
third
interesting
one right now?
matchup.
My third best bet?
But yeah, go for it, man.
My third best bet, I'm going to go down to Nursultan Ruzaboev and Brian Battle. Both of these guys just came off decisions in their last fight. Ruzaboev just beat Dustin Stoltzfus, and Brian Battle, Randy Brown in a close decision. Some people thought it was controversial, but that doesn't matter for my pick. Over 2.5 is plus money. You
Oh,
Both of these guys, like, I mean, Brian Battle has been kind of slowing down in some of his fights recently, having kind of a stinkers of performances, and Ruzaboev, even that Eric McConico fight was going long, and if it was anyone that's a bit tougher than Eric McConico, I think that would have went long as well. So I'm going to say Brian
nice.
Battle, Nursultan Ruzaboev over 2.5 at minus 115. I like that.
I could definitely see it. Hey, John, your connection is so much better now. I see you crystal clear and you're not as
Good.
choppy. So
Glad.
I see it now, and you're golden, my boy. You're golden.
Good stuff,
I
man.
could definitely see that fight going to decision though. I definitely could see that. I'm a fan of both guys, so yeah.
Yeah, I see it going longer too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm gonna throw a few best bets in there. My first best bet is gonna be Mearshart versus Lord Mikhail Olajaychek under 1.5 rounds minus 125. I do not think this fight is gonna be a war in the slightest. I think someone's gonna get put down. It's gonna be one-way traffic either way. You know, when Mearshart's fighting these unranked guys, you have to sprinkle his my submission. That's a rite of passage. It's a way of life. You have to do it, and
Yeah,
I
glad you
don't feel
picked it.
bad about that, man. And he's had 57 professional fights, and he's only had 8 go to decision. So and even better, he's had what 39 wins. He's only had two by two by decision. So. Uh, He's a finisher to the nth degree, and we've seen Macau get submitted like 5 or 6 times. I don't think like two camps at fighting nerds is really going to shore up his takedown defense or his grappling IQ or his submission defense on the ground. I think he might defend the first couple takedowns from Gerald, but I, I don't know. If that fight is another, like, who knows? But I think either way, it's going to be one-way traffic. John actually did a lot of speaking for me because my next bet is Lupe Godinez's money line at minus 150. I think people look at her last fight and um, they look at that third round really worse than they should because that was in Mexico City, if
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes, it was.
That's insane. And she was looking. At the end of that second round, I was like, "Oh, Lupe's gonna fight for a title one day." Like I literally was thinking that,
And the shit's happened.
and then she had got Montezuma's revenge and had to maybe Joe Piper wasn't wrong, about that food down there. But be that as it may, yeah, I really think Lupe is a good bet here. Even though she doesn't always use it, she's a really good wrestler. Her sister is like an Olympic wrestler from Canada.
Yeah,
You don't think she's got some of those tricks from her sister in her back pocket? You're mistaken. And I think Andrade's 33, but she is an old 33. She might be the oldest 33 in the UFC. Because she won her belt like 6, 7 years ago, and she's only 33 now. Like that's not good. And she's letting that neck up a little bit more often than she has. She's more willing to tap than she has.
yeah,
It might be a little different if she was just going right to sleep, but man, she's really quick to tap these days. It used to be maybe you could get her in the second and third round, but now it's happening in the first round, and
yeah.
that is not a good look. Um,
That's what scares the CEO.
another, yeah. Honestly, man, I think Lupe could definitely. Lupe is on the up, man. Regardless
Definitely getting
of
better and better.
how some things. Oh, 100%. And I think her IQ can always improve because she's super young in the game. So I think she would be pretty naive to not think that she could take down Andrade early and maybe look for a submission. She might not get it, but that'll get in Andrade's
Yeah.
head if the second and third round comes. But
She needs to
my
utilize what she's good at, and then what Jessica's lacking in.
Yeah, 100%. That's what separates great fighters from good fighters.
Yeah.
There's I think it's silly when some fighters say they only focus on what they do. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because, you fight 10 different guys and 10 different styles. Your style might work 95% of the time against one and then 40% against another dude. So I think that's stupid. But I think she comes from a good team. She has good people around her, and hopefully they'll lead her to victory. So Lupe Godinez money line -150. Um, After that, like I said, John did a lot of talking for me. I'm also going with MVP money line. I think that's a good parlay piece for whatever you're doing. I think this is a great spot for MVP to do MVP things. And Gerald looks good. And Gerald has still wins here and there, but he gets hurt in every single fight these days. He's getting hurt in like the last 5 fights. He's getting hurt in. That's not good. I think this could be a setup for an MVP knockout because we've been waiting for an MVP flashy knockout in the UFC, and I think he wants it. I'm almost certain me and John have watched some MVP knockouts together
Of course.
on Bellator some years
Sure. Yeah.
ago. So
Of course.
we're used to that. Yeah, MVP money line -195. We're definitely he spoke. I listened to his interview today. He spoke about being at 185. He wants to be a little bit more aggressive. And his fight against Shara, he kind of was like a mirror match, and he outmatched him. He out MVP Shara. So I think Gerald's gonna go after him, and I think they're gonna meet right in the middle. When Gerald's going after him and the MVP counters him, and I think there's some shots, some dynamic shots MVP could pull off and knock out Jared Cannonier. So that being said, John, do you have any more best bets?
Oh yeah, I can hit you with another one. For the next
So
one, I'm gonna tap into the fight we're all waiting for. I'm gonna go for the Kamzat and Dricus one. Now, I want to make a same fight parlay for this one. I want to do Kamzat money line, and then the fight doesn't go distance. I was looking for like takedown lines because I definitely maybe would even do the over
yeah,
takedown lines. But fight
yeah,
doesn't go distance. I couldn't find that. I'm on like surface level ones. But
yeah,
as far as the pick goes, I mean, it's like hopefully Kamzat's cardio has gotten better because the Kamzat of old isn't going 5 rounds, which is another reason
for sure.
I don't see it going distance. Um, I see Kamzat coming out with that onslaught of wrestling and getting him maybe even getting a ground and pound TKO or stubbing Dricus. I mean, Dricus is big
Yeah,
and strong, but he hasn't seen like this level of ground superiority when it comes to like the wrestling and grappling.
yeah.
Plus, Kamzat's got the good striking to fall back on, so I gotta go Borders here, and that the fight doesn't go distance. And I think at that, I think you can get those odds at like 137.
Minus
I,
137. Damn, I didn't know that.
yeah,
What
I did that earlier on what was that, FanDuel?
have you thought about just taking Hamza by finish?
Yeah, I was looking around at different things, but yeah, that would probably be better just straight up finish instead of trying to like call sub or whatever, because I could see
Yeah.
the TKO too,
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if you want to go the same game parlay route, you go Hamzat and like an under 4.5, under three and a
something
half,
along them.
something like
Yeah,
that. Not to start round four, not to start round three or something like that. But yeah,
I
man, I think
I saw those and I just figured keep it safe with the fight don't go
oh, no
distance.
doubt.
I definitely don't see it going 5, and then the odds on that were juicy enough.
Without a doubt,
I'm more
without a doubt.
conservative.
You have a last best bet or two?
I got one more. Yeah, I got an overs one for us. Um,
Okay,
so
cool.
I touched the over in the Diana Barbosa and the Karina Silva. I touched the over 2.5 on that one, and I got the over on the MVP and Cannonier fight because I
Oh
think he's
wow.
really going to like snake charm his way around. But I do know he's got to keep safe for 15 minutes.
Oh, I like that. What are the odds of that for
Well,
the
for that
parlay?
over 2.5, it's 119, and if you want to like take a little bit of edge off, you could even like get to the third round on both, and that's minus 149.
Damn, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I like it. But Jeannie, you got any more best bets before we move on to value plays?
I do. I so I don't want to let myself get talked out of this just because you were gonna pick MVP by knockout or whatever, but I think MVP is also gonna, as he said, snake charm his way around the cage. Listen, we've seen MVP get people on, like we've seen him rock people, and he doesn't jump on them.
Hmm.
He emotes,
Very patient.
he lets them off. He
Yeah,
lets them off. So even
he's
if
looking
he
for a clip. He's looking
yeah,
for a
even if
clip.
he even if he has Jared Cannonier and wobbly legs, I'm sure he's just gonna like mimic Jared Cannonier and like, oh, you're wobbled. That's gonna be the moment, It's
Classic
like, oh, he
Anderson
wobbled
Silva.
Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm gonna pick MVP to win this fight by decision. Instead of getting a minus 200, you get that minus 110, and I like that line a lot more.
Yeah, I could definitely see it,
Yeah,
man. I think
definitely.
I like how we all kind of targeted the same-ish fights, you know what I mean, in this sense. But yeah, man, MVP is a funny guy. I think
Yeah.
decision's most likely, but it's gonna be like a don't blink thing. It's not gonna be like MVP is gonna hurt him and then chase him down for 15 seconds trying to finish him. That ain't his style. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it for you on your best bets, Jeannie?
Yeah.
For best bets, yeah, I have a couple good value plays though.
All right, I got one more best bet for you. My fourth best bet. It's gonna be Carlos Prates by TKO at plus 115. I'm a big fan of that. Jeff Neal hasn't been finished in the UFC or hasn't been knocked out in the UFC, but he's been knocked out before the UFC in like a really weird square cage by Kevin Holland back in the day. Um, yeah, man, I think his style is like Jeff Neal's gonna meet him in the middle, and he's gonna box all day. And then we got Prates, who's gonna, Muay Thai for life. He's gonna use all eight limbs. He's gonna use his
The
hands, elbows,
diverse
knees,
toolbox.
all that. He'd use his head if he could. You know what I mean? He'd go full left way if he was able to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, I think he's gonna knee Jeff Neal up really bad. I could see it going over 1.5, but I really think it's gonna be like similar to Li Jingliang, and he just keeps going after him and fucking him up because we've seen Prates drop the first round before, and then he just grinds you out of that cage.
Yeah, he's
And
gritty.
yeah, he is. So yeah, Prates by TKO. Um, and that'll be it for me on my best bets. I'm gonna start us off on our value plays. My first value play is gonna be Chase Hooper by sub. Not a big fan of Hernandez. He's been submitted once before. I think Hooper's on the up, and I think Hernandez is on a win one, lose one, win one, lose one kind of trajectory for his career, which is whatever. I think Hooper by sub at plus 175 is a gift, if you want to say that. I think Hernandez would do something stupid, like maybe take Hooper down. I think that's something that he would do. I'll never forget seeing Hernandez get knocked out by a cowboy with my boy John over there. It was our first UFC event we went to, and we got to see Cowboy kick Hernandez. Man, I was going
The
through
New
it.
York card, baby. The first ESPN card.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. That was like in January of 19. That was a good
Yep.
that was a good night, man. But
You're damn right.
yeah, man. Ever since then, never really been a fan of Hernandez. I think that's just because he was trying to talk shit to my boy
Yeah, too
Cowboy.
much.
But he never really turned out to be anything special. He tried his hand at 45, didn't really work out well. So give me Hooper by sub. I think he is another guy, like we said earlier, growing into his body. He's getting that strength. I think he's only getting better. I know he cross trains a lot because he's in a weird part of the country up in like, Seattle area, Washington, all that. But yeah, give me Hooper by sub, and I'm not gonna reveal all my cards. So Jeannie, you want to go next with the next value play?
Sure. I'm gonna go to the Bobby Green fight versus Diego
Oh,
Ferreira. Um, Diego Ferreira by knockout at plus 200.
I don't
This
know.
dude finished Mateusz Rebecki just a few fights ago, right? He had that dude's eyes closed. And
Oh yeah.
Bobby Green is a dumbass on the feet. If he wins one round against Diego Ferreira, he's going to be sticking his hands out doing all this theatrics against him, and Diego's going to catch him and put him
The
out.
classic Bobby Green.
Yeah. Like, plus 200 is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you just want one? I can give you another.
Yeah, yeah. Rattle some off, man. Yeah.
we're going to the main event. Dricus du Plessis money line against
That
Hamzat Chimaev. A plus
was nice.
200, the defending champion, who's defended
Uh,
his belt twice now. Are you kidding me? Hamzat Chimaev has never seen wrestling like DDP. People forget, man.
Yeah, there's
DDP
levels.
out wrestled Robert Whitaker first.
yeah, and Darren Till.
And Darren, yeah, and Darren Till. He fought through a lot of adversity in those fights too. He got no surgery. He's a completely different fighter since that. He's shown incredible cardio. We've never seen Hamzat go past 3 rounds, and even in that third round against Kamaru Usman, who's
You know,
not a
death's door.
185er.
Death's door is in
Yeah,
Hamzat's future. Yeah, I
That
like that, man.
that unorthodox style has always presented puzzles for fighters. So yeah, I do
Oh,
like Dricus.
it's like he's like a walking game of Twister. It's just like bizarre, man. It's like dude, it's like every like 2 or 3 years we see like a new shade of fighter. Now we see DDP come in, and now we see DeRitter come in. Who's the next
Yeah, the game's constantly
uh
evolving.
dude, who's the next wacky inflatable tube man to come into the top 15 in the UFC? Because that's what that style is like, man.
But I agree at those odds, you can touch it straight up or parlay. Lots of potential if you believe in Dricus.
yeah.
Lots of potential.
Dude, I think DDP. Because I'm gonna say this right now, DDP is also one of my value plays. He was my next value play plus 205. Dude, I think that's
We
incredible.
all
I
got
think
that,
you could
baby.
end. I think you could have your. Oh, you have DDP money line as well.
Well, I had it just
Oh,
as a value play. Like if that was like I could see that side of the thing, and there's definitely
that
value in
might
it.
that might be the dog of the week. Tristan,
Yeah,
what do you think? That might be the
Yeah.
dog of the week, man. Because like you have the champion that's just rolling hot as ever. Be an underdog. That's about as
that's
attractive as it gets. And
yeah, it
dude,
is
and
attractive.
the odds are moved. The odds are moving too, so he might be a bigger underdog by fight day. I think uh, I think DDP money line could be something you cap off a lot of your parlays with, and then at that point you could hedge really good with Hamzat round one. Like
Yeah,
that's or round two. That's a great hedge. Plus 205 to cap off a parlay. That's fucking amazing. So I'll take that all day long, man. I like DDP, man. We can be a conglomerate on that. I'm cool with DDP money line. What else you got, Jeannie?
I got the co-main event. Listen. I think I'm picking Aaron Pico officially, but I'm going Lerone Murphy as a value play.
Oh,
I guess plus 150 is too much for me, and I think Lerone Murphy could definitely end up winning this decision. It's not a best bet because like I think Aaron Pico definitely does present a lot of challenges to Lerone Murphy, but a plus 150 when you're 16-0, and how many of those are UFC wins? That's pretty crazy. I think that's a little disrespectful, but
another
yeah,
sneaky value play would maybe even give a 3.5 on Lerone, just to get like a round on the judges'
Hmm.
scorecards. I could see that going long. I could definitely see him getting
Yeah,
around.
I don't mind that. I don't. We've never even we haven't really ever seen Larone in like trouble. I guess we saw him get hurt against Edson, but Edson hurts everybody he fights,
Yeah,
damn near. So I don't think we've ever really seen him in real danger. What? Josh Emmett picked him up one time in 25 minutes. Like that's no damage happened. Like yeah, man. I think Aaron Pico is like an elevated version of Josh Emmett. Like maybe like I think that's a good comp for that. But yeah, man. I think dude, I honestly I've been thinking about that Pico fight. I have no clue. It's just
yeah, it's a
like
tough one. It's
it's
a tough
it's
one.
almost like too good to be true that Murphy's an underdog, so you want to take it, and then Pico goes and
Yeah,
blasts him in the first round, and you're like,
yeah,
what the fuck? What did I miss? What did I miss
yeah.
this whole week? Like, what did I miss? Honestly, that fight, that's something I'm not even interested in terms of
yeah. I
laying
want to sit
anything
back
on
and
it.
watch and
But
see what Pico does against
Larone,
real talent.
A Larone ticket would not upset me. I tell you that much.
Damn
I'll
right.
give you one more too. I got Kaya Sakura by knockout against Tim Elliott.
Yeah,
This is an interesting one. Tim Elliott, he hasn't fought at 125 in a while. He's cutting back down to 125.
Yeah,
He's
his last fight
38
was at
years old.
135 through Madurgy, like a year and some change.
Yeah.
I think if I was on short notice, no, that's
What
why I
the
was
Stu
up.
Madurgy one? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. But yeah, man, he's got that weird style. I love betting on Tim Elliott when it's a guy that'll engage in grappling because if it is, he's always live to win. Asakura, I think, is gonna blast him in his body with knees. It's gonna be like very RDR like. He's just gonna be throwing that knee out there because we see him in Risen, whatever that thing is. Him blasting knees into people's livers, man. And
Yeah.
you know, dude, I mean, you could fight through head trauma, dude. When your liver shuts your body off, you have no damn choice but to crumple down. So, yeah, I could see that. What was that price on that again, Jenny?
Plus 165.
Oh, yeah, I like that a lot, man. I could see that for sure. He said that he's been doing a lot of work in the cage because he was not used to the cage because he's been fighting in a ring his damn near his whole career. So,
Yeah, talking about a lot of
yeah,
my points. See, that was like one of my value bets just off the strictly the like the so because I actually had Elliot as a dog just off of because the odds seemed like a skewed. It's just, you can get plus 230 on him. It just seemed a little off. I think there was a little bit of value on the side of Elliot because I was like you said, Kai didn't look comfortable in the cage. I know now he's got more time to get used to it, but his grappling skills and wrestling schemes still seem lacking. And I know that's against Pantoja, the king. But it's like, how deficient is Asakura down there in those skill sets? I was like, it's
yeah.
him
I
his
mean,
age, but his experience. He's
yeah,
kind of clever, in the cage. And in my opinion, I think he's fought better competition. But I mean, so I was like, if you're on that side, it's not a bad underdog line, and I just see some value in that, like plus 230. But that's if you're, I just think the odds should be closer. It shouldn't be
yeah.
damn near 3-1.
I agree with you there. I think this fight you only bet it two ways: Asakura knockout or Elliott money line. I think that's the only two bets on the table. Elliott hasn't fought in like 500 days or something like that. That's a bit
Yeah, it's
weird to
been a little
me.
bit.
He had he had that weird divorce with Gina Mazany last year with the dude
Yeah,
cheating and
with
Kevin Groom, that guy.
yeah at the
But
wedding.
big, yeah, big, red flag there.
Uh,
Big Tim Elliott fan in terms of betting on him, but he's 38,
yeah,
fighting at
age.
125. It's not, when he fought who was it, Tagir at 36 years old. I don't know if he wins that fight at 38. You know what I mean? That's a tough
Mhm.
one.
Plus, that was
Glove
what we were
grabs.
doing the glove grab. Yeah, the old dog
Glove
tricks.
grabs are
That's
not.
the cleverness
Glove
I was
grabs are
talking about.
not. I don't. Yeah, it's just you don't know.
Mm.
I think maybe if you want to even go more intense, maybe Elliott sub Asakura knockout. Maybe that's something more attractive. I don't know what Elliott sub is, but I mean he's definitely got the tools to do that. If
Mm.
this is the test to find out if Asakura is legit or not,
He's got to put
because
his finger on and get ready to wrestle if he's going to get that dub. Just get ready to do the constant
uh
wrestling.
100%. And how much in fights, man, everything is down to the microseconds of your reactions.
Of course.
How
Hey,
much of his speed is lost, in the last year and a half that he's been gone, not being active. I don't know. I
God,
don't
man.
think he, training as hard as he's ever been. So I don't know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could
Yeah,
definitely see
all honesty, yeah, Kai
Asakura
should win.
sleeping.
I just thought that there's a little bit of value because just in the odds, because I think that it should have been
100%.
closer. Yeah.
100%. Dude, if they had that fight as a pick 'em, I would not be surprised at all. Honestly, I don't think I'd be surprised. Uh, but Jeannie, is that it for you on your value plays?
That's it for my value plays. Yep.
Cool, John. You got anything to round us up about?
Well, he covered. He basically got me on Drickus. Let me see. Okay, so Ruzi Boev. I definitely, basically the same situation with Ruzi. Let me find what I had for that one. Where do I have it? Okay, yeah. So I personally, I think that Battle's a little bit small for middleweight, and I wonder if that power is going to follow him up. If not, I think he could have
Yeah,
a rough time striking with Ruzi. I think maybe he can use that like 6'5" frame in sticky situations with some clinch skills to get out of them in like sticky spots.
yeah.
I see the
I
EV
want to
with the
see how
power, the
I want to see
advantage.
how they face off. You know what I mean? Like I want to see how they face off. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah,
Was thinking about that all week. I was like, I want to see them face off and see how they look against each other.
yeah, scales. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
I got the Butcher with the Jits advantage. I got the EV with the power advantage. I think Ruzi should have the wrestling advantage, although we really don't see it much. I like Battle on the mic, and he's always in barn burners. I think Rosie's got a good chin, Chris striking, the power. He just
yeah.
needs to protect his neck. I think it definitely is going to get to the second round. But I have a weird feeling that like a finish might happen in the end. But I just think he's another good dog spot with some value on it for a good matchup.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with, like you said, is he going to come up, carry the power up middleweight? What they're going to look like to get next to
Yeah.
each other?
I think Rudy might have some height on him, but I think he's a little light in the ass
Yeah, yeah,
compared to other middleweights because I mean he made 170 on like a week's or two notice, like
yeah,
or something like that, like on short notice. So I don't know. I think
yeah.
Battle
That
might
weight
be
cut was
the
hurting him.
thicker guy. He might be like the thicker guy, like on fight night, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah,
One thing I like, it's a pay-per-view, so we'll see them at the end of the day when they're fully hydrated. So when they
yeah,
face off for the final time, we'll see maybe more of an accurate depiction of what they'll look like for sure. And
yeah.
not a lot of people know Ruzi's a Philly guy. He's training down there with Piper and Sean Brady and all those guys. So that's a good room to be
And I
in.
think he was also doing work with Combat. I think for recently, I think he was doing work with Combat.
I wouldn't be surprised, I'll tell you that much. I definitely would not be surprised to see that.
I think I've seen something with over at the Jackson that place he's been training the Jackson. The Jackson podcast place. I think I've seen some footage of them over there together.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's out in like LA, I think, or something like that. Somewhere.
Yeah, Orange County.
Orange
Yeah,
County or something. I think I think I'm gonna end our value plays here with good old Uncle Gerald. It's good to end that because I am interviewing Gerald in about 20 minutes. So
love it.
we're going with Gerald Meerschaert by submission plus 400. Like we said, it's a rite of passage. You got to bet on him to do that because Gerald has like so many submission wins in so many different ways. He's obviously talented. I can see Gerald getting hurt early and then him doing something similar like he did in the Holland fight, rushing into his guard and oh, Gerald's got your arm, and there, that's all she wrote. But yeah, we spoke a lot about Gerald this
And
podcast.
then Bills being southpaws might present some good situations for Gerald to get a little weird, grappling situations.
100%. I want to see what kind of takedowns Gerald comes out with because I think in the first 90 seconds we're gonna know how that fight's gonna go. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be one-way traffic, so that's why I feel pretty good about the under. But yeah, Meerschaert by sub is definitely not unattractive. I tell you that.
yeah, definitely sexy
Um,
looking play.
hey Jeannie, you got your odds up there?
Yeah.
We're gonna add John's pick. We're gonna have a four-leg sparring sessions parlay this week. So, John, I didn't tell you about this beforehand. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Give me your
Okay,
favorite pick. It could be any odds. I don't care if it's minus 500, whatever you want. We're gonna put it into a parlay. I have Dax's parlay here. It's the GM3 fight not to go the distance, Tristan, and I'm also gonna add Asakura money line. So you go ahead and add yours, whatever that may be, and then we'll get the last pick from John, and then we will give that to our viewers.
So my play, I'm going Lupita Godinez money line. I really like that. And what are you going with there, John?
I'm gonna add in Chase Hooper.
Chase
Super.
Hooper money
Okay,
line. So
nice.
so we've got Gerald Meerschaert versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk fight not to go the distance. Kai Asakura money line, Lupita Godinez money line, and Chase Hooper money line for a total of plus 266 for a four-leg parlay.
Not bad at
Nice.
all.
I like it.
Yeah.
Cool with that.
Less money.
All right. All right, guys. That's another episode of Sparring Sessions Best Bets UFC 319. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm Big Will. That's been Jeannie. That's been my boy John. See you guys.